Carcassonne, Revelation 13:16. And he causes all, both small and great, and rich and poor, and free and slave, to be given a mark upon their right hand or upon their foreheads. In our first video of the revelation of the mark, we went over how the word used for give is the Greek word dosin, where we get the English word dose, as in a dose of medicine, as you see here in these slides. This is the reason why it is written in Revelation 18:23, and the light of a lamp shall not shine in you any more at all, and the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall not be heard in you any more at all, for the merchants were the great ones of the earth, for by your drug sorcery all the nations were led astray. The word used for drug sorcery in this passage is pharmakeia. This word is Greek Strong's G5531, and as you can see here, the word has the meaning of administering drugs. This is where the word pharmacy comes from in English, a word that is represented by the letters RX. In our Revelation of the Mark video, we showed that the letters chi xi stigma, where the number 666 comes from, is a formula. And in our prophecy of the end from the beginning video, we showed that the letters stacked on top of each other equals a serpent wrapped around a pole. The same symbol that the answer of the formula gives. This came from a book that I read from David Flynn. Quote, "There is also a fascinating relationship between the letter form of the mark of the Antichrist, which is 666, written in Greek, and the first act of rebellion of mankind manifested in the fall of Adam and Eve. As investigated earlier, the Greeks inherited the letters for their language from Phoenician, and Israelite traders from the text of the Old Testament. The earliest versions of the Old Testament used this Phoenicic pictographic script. The first letter, chi, x, equaling 600, was a Greek transformation of the Phoenician letter tav, a symbol of a tree or cross sticks, which meant a mark. Xi symbolizing a branch in equals 60. The final letter, stigma, actually meaning a mark, is a later Greek addition to the phonetic alphabet. It symbolizes a serpent and was used to represent the number 6. The pictographic meaning in Greek of the number 666 is, then, a serpent on the branch of a tree, exactly the scene of Genesis 3:1, the David Flynn collection. I have never heard of such a formula that the letters that make up the formula forms a symbol that the answer to the formula also shows. I am led to believe through great certainty that Yochanan wrote this under true divine inspiration. And in the next two videos, we will show the beginning of the mark and its end. We will also explore exactly what this mark does to those who take it. First, let's look at the word used in Revelation for on, as in on the right hand or on the forehead. So this word, it can be translated as he causes all to receive a dose of medicine against the right hand and against the forehead. Notice it says causes but not makes. In other words, he causes them to willingly receive this medicine that is against their right hand or forehead. I know that sounds weird. Here is the reason why it is against the right hand and against the forehead. Quote, in traditional Jewish wedding ceremony, the wedding ring is placed on the bride's right hand index finger. But other traditions, place it on the middle finger or the thumb, most commonly in recent times. Quote, if you've ever seen a Middle Eastern festive female outfit or seen a camel or Arabian horse dressed up for a parade, you can't help but to notice the number of coins attached to the headband, earrings, and necklace. Similarly, the Yemenite Jewish bridal attire in some cases also bedecked with coins attached to the headpiece and or necklaces and chains. Yahizkiel, Ezekiel 16:12, and I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ears, and a beautiful crown upon thine head. The mark is against the right hand and against the forehead, and therefore it is against the marriage of the bride to her husband. The mark makes the one who takes it the bride of Satan. This mark was prophesied by Daniel 500 years before Yahushua walked the earth, and that prophecy has been hidden. In the book of Matthew, Yahushua says, so when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, set up in the set-apart place, he who reads, let him understand. Many people are waiting on the third temple to be built for this to happen, but Yahushua told us the temple was already built. Yochanan John 2:19. Yahushua answered and said to them, destroy this dwelling place, and in 3 days I shall raise it up. Then the Yehudim said, it took 46 years to build this dwelling place, and you are going to raise it in 3 days? But he spoke about the dwelling place of his body. He was telling us that this abomination that is spoken of in Daniel would be placed in the body. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you are a dwelling place of Elohim, and that the Spirit of Elohim dwells in you? If anyone destroys the dwelling place of Elohim, Elohim shall destroy him. For the dwelling place of Elohim is set apart, which you are. The last thing that Yahushua says in this passage is, he who reads, let him understand. We read words, and that is why it is written in Daniel. But you, Daniel, hide the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall diligently search, and knowledge shall increase. Let us begin to read these words in Daniel chapter 8. And it came to be, when I, Daniel, had seen the vision, that I sought understanding, and see, before me stood one having the appearance of a mighty man, and I heard a man's voice between the banks of Olai, who called and said, Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. He then came near where I stood, and when he came, I feared, and I fell on my face. But he said to me, understand, son of man, for the vision is for the time of the end. And as he was speaking with me, I fell stunned upon my face to the ground. But he touched me and made me stand up straight, and said, look, I am making known to you what shall take place in the latter time of the wrath. For at the appointed time shall be the end. The ram which you saw having 2 horns are the sovereigns of Media and Persia. And the male goat is the sovereign of Greece, and the large horn between its eyes and the first sovereign. And that it was broken, and 4 stood up in its place, are 4 rulerships arising out of that nation, but not in its power. 23. And in the latter time of their rule, when the transgressors have filled up their measure, a sovereign, fierce of face and skilled at intrigues, shall stand up. The word in this passage for latter time is Strong's H319, Akarith. It means the last or end, or the end of days. And it says, when the transgressors have filled up their measure. In other words, when sin has reached its completion in the last days, this man will rise up, which is where we are now in this anything goes society, where we call good evil and evil good. It says, a sovereign, fierce of face, skilled at intrigue shall stand up. The word fierce is Hebrew Strong's H5794, Oz. This word means strong, vehement, harsh, fierce, greedy, mighty, power, roughly, and strong. It comes from Strong's H5810, which is azaz, which means to be stout, hardened, impudent, prevail, strengthen self, and be strong. This is the same word we see in the word Azazel for the fallen angel. The next word in this passage is of face. It is Hebrew Strong's H6440, panim. This word means face or faces, or it can mean presence or person or countenance. The next word, and skilled at, is the word bin or bene. This is Strong's H995. This word means to understand, attend, or be cunning, and it has all these other meanings as well. The word and skilled at intrigues is kidao from Strong's H2330. It means a puzzle, hence a trick, conundrum, sentience maxim, a dark saying, sentence or speech, hard questions, proverbs, or riddles. But this word can also mean double dealing. Also, it can mean subtlety or fraud. By the Hebrew words in this passage, we see, this ruler shall rise up when the sins of mankind are at an all-time high in the last days. He will have a strong presence. The word used is Oz, like in Azazel, the fallen one. He will be cunning like the serpent and twisted and crafty at double dealing. A deceiver like the word kedau, that means fraud. He will make people believe in lies. Like it says in Revelation, he will cause them to receive the mark. Daniel 8:24, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy incredibly, and shall prosper and thrive, and destroy mighty men and a set apart people. The first word in this sentence is and. The word translated and in this passage is Hebrew Strong's H6105, a psalm. This word means to bind fast, i.e. close the eyes. It has all of these other meanings as well. His power in this passage is Hebrew Strong's H3581, koach. This word is from an unused root meaning to be firm vigor, literally force in a good or bad sense, or figuratively capacity, means, or produce. Also from its hardness, a large lizard, ability, able, chameleon, force, fruits, might, powerful, strength, substance, and wealth. Notice what it says. His ability to close the eyes by his chameleon-like power is transformative, as seen in 2 Corinthians 11:14, and no marvel, for Satan himself masquerades as a messenger of light. This ruler will have the power to completely deceive people by his many charms. Another word translated as and in this passage is Hebrew Strong's H6381, palah. This word palah means perhaps to separate, i.e. distinguish, literally or figuratively. This word has the meaning of miraculous and marvelous, as well as these other meanings. Daniel 8:24, and his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy incredibly. This is his ability to destroy with miracles. Daniel 8:25, and through his skill he shall make deceit prosper in his hand, and hold himself to be great in his heart. And by peace he shall destroy many, and even stand against the prince of princes, yet without hand he shall be broken. The word for his skill is sakel, Hebrew Strong's 87922, which means prudence, insight, understanding. Also means cunning and craft in a bad sense. The word deceit is Strong's H4820 mirma from H7411 in the sense of deceiving, fraud, craft, and deceitfully. False, feigned, guile, subtly, treachery. By peace is Strong's H7962 saval. This means security, genuine or false, abundance, peace, peacefully, and prosperity and quietness. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Daniel 11:31, and strong ones shall arise from him, and profane the set-apart place, the stronghold, and shall take away that which is continual, and set up the abomination that lays waste. This is what Yahusha mentioned in Matthew 24:15, when he said, so when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, set up in the set-apart place, he who reads, let him understand. Now let's look at the words and see the meaning. The first word is Zoroah. This is Hebrew Strong's H2220. It means the arm as stretched out, or this can mean shoulder. In this case, the word has yod and mem on the end. This makes the word plural. With the ua at the beginning, it makes it and the shoulders. The next word is shall stand. Hebrew Strong's H5975. This word means set forth, but with the yod added to the beginning, it has the meaning of they will set forth. The next word is on his part, which is the Hebrew word min, which is H4480. This word min has many meanings. It means because of, on the account of, and in this passage it is on the account of him. The next word is and they shall pollute. This is Hebrew Strong's H2490, kalal. This word means to bore, i.e. by implication to wound. It also means to pierce through or wound, to take inheritance. They shall bore by implication to wound. The sanctuary is Hebrew Strong's H4720, mikdash. The mikdash, as we know it, is the set-apart place. The next word is then they shall take away. This word is Hebrew Strong's H5493. This word means to take away or to remove. They shall remove. Next word is daily. This word is Hebrew Strong's H8548, tamid. This word means constant. The constant. The next word we see is of strength. This word is Hebrew Strong's H4581, ma'az. Ma'az has the meaning of a fortified place, figuratively a defense, a fortress, or a stronghold. It has the meaning of a shelter, a stronghold, a place of refuge. It has the meaning of a covering. Next word is and they shall place. This is Hebrew Strong's H5414, Natan. This word has the meaning of place or deliver, and they shall deliver. The next word is the abomination. Strong's H8251. Shikuts. This word means disgusting, filthy, especially idolatrous or an idol, and the abominable filth, that detestable thing. The next word is that maketh desolate. Strong's H8074. Shamam. This word means to stun, grow numb, devastate, stupefy, make amazed, be astonished, astonishment, bring into, lay or make desolate or desolation, to be destitute. The word stupefy means to make someone unable to think or feel properly. Let's recap that. And the shoulders they will set forth, on the account of him, they shall pierce by implication to wound the set apart place. They shall remove the constant covering, and they shall deliver the abominable filth that makes desolate, or, in other words, makes the taker unable to feel or behave properly. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you are the dwelling place of Elohim, and that the Spirit of Elohim dwells in you? If anyone destroys the dwelling place of Elohim, Elohim shall destroy him, for the dwelling place of Elohim is set apart, which you are. Daniel 11:32. And by flatteries he shall profane those who do wrong against the covenant, but the people who know their Elohim shall be strong and act. The word flatteries in this passage is Hebrew Strong's H2514, kalaka, which means flattery, smoothness, or fine promises. The next word in this passage is and such as do wickedly. This is Strong's H7561, rasha. This word means to be, causatively do or declare wrong, by implication to disturb, violate, condemn, make trouble, vex. To be, commit, deal, depart, do wickedly or wickedness. And from the wickedness of. The next word in this passage is Hebrew Strong's H1285, berith. This word means in the sense of cutting, like a compact, because made by passing between pieces of flesh, a confederacy or confederate, colleague, or league. The word compact is a signed written agreement that binds you to do what you've promised, a compact in the flesh. The next word is he shall corrupt, Hebrew Strong's H2610. This word is kanaf. It means to soil, especially in a moral sense, corrupt, defile, greatly, pollute, and profane. To be godless, to make profane, to make godless. This means to cause to be defiled without Elohim. Let's recap those words. With fine promises and from wickedness of a compact made in the flesh, he shall cause to be defiled without Elohim. But the people who know their Elohim shall be strong and shall act. The word in this passage for be strong is Hebrew Strong's H2388, kazak. This means to fasten upon, to seize, be strong, courageous, causatively, strengthen. This means to conquer. This means to overcome. And the word for shall act in this passage is Hebrew Strong's H6213, asah. This means to do or to make in the broadest sense, but it also means to serve. This shows that his people will overcome and shall serve. Daniel 11:38. But in his place he shall give esteem to the mighty one of strongholds. and to a mighty one which his fathers did not know, he shall give esteem with gold and silver, and with precious stones and costly gifts. The word in this passage for strongholds is Hebrew Strong's H4581 ma'az, which we have seen before actually means covering. This word comes from Strong's H5810, which means to be stout, literally or figuratively, harden, impudent, prevail, strengthen self, and be strong. Azaz. The word Azazel is Strong's H5799. This word means scapegoat. It comes from two words, H5795, which is or Oz, from H5810, the same word that we get in Ma'az, a she-goat, as strong but masculine in plural, which also is used elliptically for goat's hair, she, goat, or kid. Quote, according to the Peshitta, Azazel is rendered Zazael, which means a strong one against or of God. In Syriac, Persher on the periods AB reads on Azazel. Some read Uzael and the angels. If the name is in fact Azazel, it is spelled Ayin Zayin Aleph Lamed, equivalent to the Peshitta's version. The Carbon Neophyte reads Ayin Zayin Lamed without the Aleph. Strong's H5810 Azaz means to be stout, harden, impudent, prevail, strengthen oneself, and be strong. The word El is shortened. It means strength as an adjective, mighty, especially the mighty. It means a god or an idol. It can be a false god or demons as well. Hence the name, the god of forces. The word Ma'az also means a covering, like the covering angel who fell. Yehezkel, Ezekiel 28:14. You were the anointed cherub that covered, and I placed you. You were on the set-apart mountain of Elohim. You walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. You were perfect in all your ways from the day you were created until unrighteousness was found in you.